Okay, so firstly, I do not advise this at all. So we've got a rear hub motor, 24 volt, 250 watt. Obviously, we know it's not just 250 watts, 250 nominal. We've got a little homemade manually balanced battery, which is 2P11S. So I only charge it to 45 volts to keep the batteries healthy. This is my new full suspension bike. Literally picked it up for 15 quid. It is a giant Yukon FX2. I think they retail about 300 and something quid. Even now it needs loads of work. It's absolutely knackered. There's no rear brake, front disc brakes all knackered. Anyway, so also controller's not fit for this project whatsoever, but that's DIY for you. It's a 24 to 36 volt 350 watt controller. It's tiny. I've stripped it all the way down. I've literally desoldered everything. There is zero heatsink on this also, which is not advisable either, but obviously they heatsink from their casing, but I couldn't wait to get it back in its case, so I will put it back in there at some point. So we'll just quickly flick up. Oh, no, we've got a fuse gone again. Fuse gone again. Okay, so first test, probably being a bit silly here. We've got a 24 volt 250 watts motor, a 24 to 36 volt 350 watt controller that I've butchered a load of cables off of just to make it a little bit cleaner. There's no switch there because there's a switch on the battery. So little throttle. Test number 1. Also there's no heatsink anywhere, so I can't overload it too much. So let's turn it on. We're on. And ooh. I also have no rear brake, so I can't even just quickly stop it. I need to go and get my thermometer, see if there is any It's the smallest controller for that kind of motor really. I mean, I can overvolt it. It's 45 volts in this battery. There's only 2S though, so sorry, 2P11S. Maybe try again. Okay, so yeah, we did have two dead fuses, one after the other. So instead of obviously when you turn it on, the caps draw a load of energy. And quick way that I do my batteries basically is 5 amp fuse wire throughout. I don't use a BMS because I manually balance my batteries. I've got a 16 bay charger, so I just manually balance them that way. Obviously that doesn't help on output, but either way, we're at 45.6 at the minute. As I said, controller's not fit for this. It's not heat sunk. I'm totally expecting another one to go, like literally on first try, but as long as I leave it on, it should be okay for a few minutes. Just a quick show of the little battery box that I made out of polyplastic. Obviously this is not the battery that's going to live in there, obviously. So yeah, does need an awful lot of work though, like a lot of work. But it does have this cool rear sus, which is what I've been after for ages. This is probably my 4th build. I've had 2 Thompson Euro Classic 2s, and I've just done a Cube Race 240 kids bike, but basically turned it into a BMX with 24-inch wheels. This is a 26-inch wheel. Anyway, I'll get on with all that at some point. I never make videos, so you'll have to excuse the poor. But yeah, so polyplastic's in, nice, it's good. Little bit of bend there. I thought that was quite sexy. It's good. It's in there. It's in there. I'll worry about covers at another point. Anyway, so throttle. Oh, I touched it already. I don't have rear brake, so I'm just using a towel just to stop it off. Oh, I think we've gone again. We have, yeah, fucking caps. Look, see the cap draining. These little buggers. Still draining. Still draining. Right, so in longevity, obviously, what I do is I 5 amp fuse wire throughout, and then in between the series circuits, I use 10 amp fuse wire, and then normally I've got, this is purely just DIY. Normally I've got an inline fuse also, depending on the setup. Oh dear, I thought this video was going to be really easy, but apparently not. Anyway, right, back in a minute. Okay, crikey, that's about take 350, I think. So now I've just quickly put 10 amp in between each series circuit. That's the cap depleting again, so we'll quickly flick them on. 45.6. Right, okay, finally. Right, oh. I don't know why it's doing that. Why are you doing that? I didn't even touch it. Maybe I've got a really sensitive controller. Maybe there's something going on in here. I don't know. Where's the rag? Look down. Turn them on. Maybe I do have a really sensitive controller. Hang on a minute. I'll just reposition the phone. So I'm not sure what that was, but it might be sensitive. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Yeah. No. Right, don't buy cheap control. Don't buy cheap ones because they're sensitive. Very sensitive. Right, let's just. When I get this to where it's supposed to be going, to get all cleaned up, and I'll get all this rust off and all of this, and I'll make a custom batteries to fit inside there nicely. That's really, look at that. Cheap throttle, cheap throttle, eBay. Cheap. I didn't get my thermometer. I don't think there's heat coming from there. Give him another couple of goes. Let's try putting a bit of load on. Oh, it's going to burn a hole through my towel. That's fast. That's fast. So 45 volt, 350 watt on a 250 watt. Oh, it's not my best bike. Best bike does about 22 miles an hour without pedaling. Obviously not road legal at all, but we'll keep going. chewing battery. Battery's rising back up though. What was it before? 45, 6, 7, something like that. It's 45 now, but climbing 45.1, 45.2. Nothing's warm. Well, I need my... I don't know if the thermometer's in the drawer. No, it's upstairs. Oh no, it might not be. Actually, it might be in there. No. Found the calipers though, handy. No. Gotta be somewhere. I've got like a little infrared control thing. Go on, let's give it another go. No load, sitting at about 42, 42.45. Forty-one, 40, 39, 38, 38. Oh, I'm going to burn a hole in the towel if I do any more. I have actually burnt a hole in the towel. Excuse me. So yeah, so it's pure DIY. You know, I'll perfect it. Well, I won't perfect everything. You know, I don't want to spend any money. I think in total now I've spent. I traded that rear wheel came out of a lady's bike that I traded for one of my 4-bay Litto Carla cap charger things, which was like 14 quid. So rear hub 14 quid, plus I got a load of spares, I got brake cables, I got all sorts of other bits and pieces. Bike, as I say, was a giant Yukon FX2 dual sus. It's a 18-inch frame. Plastic was free because I do sign making, so I bought a load of it. Obviously I'll cake it in paint and vinyl and all sorts of other bits and pieces. Chuffed about my calipers though, been looking for them for ages. They're only old ones, but they're actually Dad's, but they do the job. What else? Picked up a new helmet that was gold the other day. I might do a little video, well I already have done a little video of rubbing it all down. It was this disgusting gold. It's nice and tight on the left and right when it's got its pads in, but the front and back is really loose, so I'm going to have to work out some sort of like padding or something or other. I've got like loads of bits of foam that I can glue in and whatever, and stripped out a Bosch battery thing the other day. Had all the cells out of that. I think out of 40 cells. I think I got about 33 that were nice and healthy. Yeah, I got all sorts of toys. New bars going to go on my the Cube kids bike. So basically it looks like a BMX. That's going to get sprayed like electric orange with like black stickers, which is very good. I need to get my little amp watts volts meter thing with a massive shunt on it. I think it's fit for about 100 amp. These caps are fit for 50 volts, so I'm pretty sure they're going to be okay for a bit. I mean, that controller's not going to stay in this bike, obviously. it was just a bit of fannying around trying to like desolder all the stuff, you know, like brake light, brake disablement, you know, like all the other bits and pieces. I mean, the soldering on this stuff's really poor, so poor. But then what do you expect for an £11 controller? And then what do you expect for it? Whoa, no, no. Yeah, that's probably going to go in the bin or get taken apart. See if it's, because I can't have that, can I? I can't be at a stop sign or something and it decides it's going to go off on one. Let's just quickly see. Yeah, caps are discharging nice and quick. 1.8, one's about blah 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 blah. Turn it back on. 45.6. Oh, and also the gears work, which is quite convenient. Quite convenient. It's not got as many sprockets on the rear wheel as the original rear wheel, and I'm gonna have to do something about a brake because on this style of shock, like there's no mount points on the rear forks anywhere so I'm either gonna have to drill something or get somebody to drill in some lugs or something or other, and it's obviously going to need a new chain. I mean, honestly, if you can see that, but it's murky as shit. Like I just used I don't know, like chain lube. Well, I used WD first and then I used some chain lube. For some reason this bike didn't come with a middle derailleur at all. There's no middle derailleur. There's the cable for it. It's just blank end though. Then again, I suppose that's why it's 15 quid. Have a Google on the bike. As I say, it's a giant Yukon, so that's YUKON FX2. It's a nice bike. It's nice. Normally I'll try and aim at building two-wheel drive bikes. I was going to build BMXs, but trying to get, I'm electrically minded. I'm not mechanically minded really. So I built Powerballs before I built electric bikes, and it was only because Dad blagged me into buying one for 50 quid that somebody had rewired the controller all wrong, and this is brushless, by the way. Oh, sorry, brushed. And my other ones are brushless, which is quite cool. But it works. Too fast. See, I'm only a lightweight guy, so bikes for me are great because I don't have a lot of weight. So, what else was? That's pretty much it, man.